Hey everybody, welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. My name is Joel Benner.
Did we start recording?
This is Coop. He's on the phone with his kids.
Having a conversation with
His
my
sister's
family right
kids.
now. Thank you very much.
This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons to tell you why you could never take anything at true value. I'm Joel Benner, and as always, next to me is Matthew Cooper.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit 'em with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Okay, well, at this point, I guess we've already started
So,
the show, so I got
During Halloween, we all enjoy getting cozy on the couch with our loved ones to watch a bunch of actors in their early 30s
kick your kids.
pretending to be high school students,
Not Blake,
but
just
brutally murdered by a
Blake doesn't
masked
need to.
lunatic. God, this grammar's awful.
Okay, I love
These
you. Have a
Fox
good
Snuff
night.
films
I'm
give
gonna-
us the
I'm gonna do
thrill
show.
of fearing for our lives.
All right, bye.
Misspell here. While safe at home. And we love them for that. To show our appreciation today, we will be telling the tale of some of the real horrors behind our favorite horror films. I got you another hard AF.
Thank you. All right, what did I miss?
Nothing. I did the first paragraph for you.
Got the first paragraph down. You already did the intro also?
Yeah, I ruined the intro.
Okay, I kind of came into this late.
Yeah, you got a family. You're a family man.
Oh yeah, I got to tell my sister how to beat her kids. It takes experience. Like you have to spend a lot of time hitting children until you realize the proper way to hit a child.
Yeah, because, I mean, fuck, my mom was the best at it. Rest in peace.
You're not born that way though. It takes experience.
She learned it from her father.
It's passed
And he
down
learned it
through
from his,
generations. So I
The skill is about beat.
Wait, hang on. Did we actually start the show?
Oh yeah, we're going.
Okay, because I did
hope
just
you're
come
okay
off
with
a. Oh no, I'm good with it. I just came off a phone call with
Oh, we all know. We were all watching.
with my sister and her kids. That is not advice that you should follow unless you come from.
From Oregon in a cult, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Amanda, you have two beautiful kids. You're an awesome mom, from what I could tell. I've only hung out with you a couple
Beautiful,
times.
maybe
They're cute.
they're kids. I'll give you that much. Okay, so where did we actually leave off?
I did the first paragraph. I think I nailed it.
Okay.
But the grammar and the misspells are pretty frustrating. But go ahead.
You didn't go through and do a pass.
Sorry.
I need somebody to fix the grammar. So as a film genre, horror has been around for over 100 years. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course. I'm a filmmaker. I know everything about
Okay,
film.
yeah.
The Birds came out in 1976.
Well over 100 years ago. The first scary movie ever produced was a French short film called Le Manoir.
Bicycle.
No,
I know.
not a horror film.
Oh, the first horror film. I thought you meant the first film.
No, Le Manoir du Diable.
Ooh,
I probably butchered that.
A female devil.
No, The House of the Devil.
House of the Devil.
Filmed in 1896, The House of the Devil depicts the demon Mephistopheles terrorizing two Frenchmen until he is finally driven away with a crucifix. The film features early forms of visual effects using camera trickery to make the demon appear to teleport around the room. I actually really like the old school filmmaking techniques they used to create special effects and like the
Practical
old
effects?
Buster Keaton movies. Yeah, I guess that would be practical effects as opposed to special effects. Because it's all in camera.
Well, they're all special, Coop.
Well, very,
It's
very
magic.
special. But you've seen the old clips showing how they did the gags in some of the Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin films.
Yeah, like making it look like it's super high when it's not.
And
or he's
some
about
of
to
it,
fall off a cliff when he's not.
is super fucking dangerous. But there's also some.
Most of them aren't, though. A lot of
Yeah.
them were. I mean, in today's standards, which I don't agree with. Okay, this is a hot take, but if you're a fucking moron and get hit by a train while filming an independent film, go fuck
Oh,
yourself.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Go fuck yourself. Get off the
Really?
tracks. I mean, I have been fucking 6 years old on a train tracks, and you hear the sound, you get off the tracks.
That's a hot take that you're gonna have for this episode.
Dude.
Is making fun of that poor girl that got fucking mutilated by a train.
I don't like that she died.
I support it.
I don't like that she died. I think
I don't
that's
like that
fucking sucks.
she died either.
I don't know if it's entirely her fault, but she must have been mentally disabled. Because nobody in their right mind would have stayed on the tracks for a low-budget film while trying to drag a mattress. Like, what are you thinking? And also, every single fucking train bridge, unless that one is the only train bridge that doesn't have a walkway on the side.
It was about the Allman Brothers. You're going to make some sacrifices for the Allman Brothers. Or wasn't it about the Allman Brothers?
I don't know why I just went off on that, but... What were you, I already forgot what you were talking about before that. Okay, now I take it back. Now I feel bad.
No, seriously, I agree. Like... Okay, rest in peace. I feel horrible that she got just
hit by a train
and ridiculously mutilated by a train. Because from what I've heard, the aftermath was very brutal.
I was working. I was on sets where the slate had her name on it.
Wait, the girl that got killed by the train, or the girl that got shot by Alec Baldwin?
The girl that got hit by a train. People put her on slates. Which I was cool with. I was like, yeah, that's fucked up that she died because of a fucking shitty movie. But now time has passed. I don't care anymore. like Jesus Christ. I have been blackout drunk, like literally laying on train tracks 1,000 times. And I'm an idiot. And when you hear the train coming, you just get off of the train tracks. I don't get it.
Well, you're just quitting too soon.
Alec Baldwin shooting somebody in the chest. That's a whole different story.
Okay, this is a major tangent to get in at the top of the episode.
We are talking about movies on this episode.
We are talking about movies. This entire episode is going to be about movies. It's going to be about the true stories behind some very popular horror films.
Yeah, I know why I went off on that tangent is because this fucking guy in the studio, his name is Alec. Yes, sir. Like Alec Baldwin, who shot a DP, which was my prior job before this.
So is that why you feel some sort of connection to her? Is because she was a DP, but the poor camera assistant, or the first AC that got run over by a fucking train.
No one shot her.
You don't feel bad for her.
If it was Billy, and I was like, Billy, there's a train coming, we should probably get off the tracks, and he stayed on the tracks, I would not feel sorry for him. Billy, you heard me. Billy was my AC. And same for Diesel, rest in peace. If you were dumb enough to stay on the tracks, fuck you. No one else stayed on the fucking tracks.
No way in hell Diesel would have stayed on the tracks. Billy would have stayed on the tracks. So
and then I would have been pissed at Diesel for not dragging Billy off the tracks. They didn't have a good camera team.
People who are unfamiliar with our film history, we used to work with a couple of guys. One of them was named Billy. Should we use last names? Doesn't matter. Billy, you know who you are. Good old Bill. And
Bill's caught up. Diesel,
Bill still listens
to every
are.
Episode.
Well,
Diesel listens from heaven because he's a drunk motherfucker who I love.
Drank himself to death.
Rest in peace. Off that Jim Beam. That's why I still drink it every day.
One of my mentors. Probably why I'm still drinking so
when
much.
He passed away, the amount of people that came out of the woodwork to be like, you convinced me to keep trying to be in film. Like I didn't even realize how, he helped me a shit ton, but I didn't realize how much he actually helped so many of these young kids trying to make it. Dude, it was like his purpose. He was just going around helping the shittiest, like the dude had money. The dude was working for fucking Francis Ford Coppola's daughter.
I will call Diesel out.
And he quit that shit to go on indie film. I will call
Diesel out by name just to give him respect. Darren Diesel Fingston.
Daryl.
First name was Daryl. Went by Diesel.
Yeah.
He helped me through my film career so insanely much, where like pretty much every piece of set etiquette that I had was because I learned it from him.
Yeah.
And I spent a good somewhere between 4 and 6 months living on a boat with him and his wife. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually take everything back I said. Diesel, fuck you for not helping this fucking fat chick who died on the train tracks. You should have trained her better. You should have fucking trained her better.
He would have. Dude, if Diesel was on set that day...
She wouldn't have done it.
No.
She would go on the tracks the second that little ding, 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 or that brr, 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 or the jiggle, jiggle, jiggle of the tracks, she would have been fucking out of there.
That's exactly how trains sound.
Those are all the sounds they make. The ground shakes a little, or there's a bell, or you hear the fucking engine coming.
As a film genre, horror has been around for over 100 years. I'm always good at the transitions. The first scary movie ever produced was a French short film called Le Manoir du Diable, or The House of the Devil. Filmed in 1896, The House of the Devil depicts the demon Mephistopheles terrorizing two Frenchmen until he is finally driven away with a crucifix. The film features early forms of visual effects using camera trickery to make the demon appear to teleport around the room. But not all horror in horror films is fake.
Ooh, I like this.
For some of these films, the true horror happened behind the scenes. Whether it was based on a true story or had an unusually troubled production, sometimes the really scary stuff wasn't what was on camera, but off camera.
Isn't it always, though?
Considering the pay rates in independent film, yes.
Oh, we should mention one thing, too, at the top. We just recorded another Crime Corner that comes out on Friday. I think a lot of people think that Crime Corner was done. We just recorded one.
Crime
coming
Corner
out
never
on
dies.
Friday. Just wanted to shout that out.
So here's
Kind
some...
of drunk, Coop. I'm going to fuck this episode up. I'm sorry now. I'm apologizing now.
It means it's going to be a good episode. So here are some creepy facts about your favorite horror films. I'm going to do my best to keep this together, but I drank a little bit more than I was expecting during Crime Corner. So we're going to start off...
to do 2 shows at once. God, we're so unprofessional. These motherfuckers here do like 8 shows in a day. We can't even do 2.
No, we can. We're doing it right now. So the first movie we're going to be talking about is A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah,
That was a joke.
This Wes Craven film centers around a group of teens being terrorized in their dreams by a handsome gentleman named Freddy Krueger. Freddy was a child murderer brought to justice by local parents who brutally burnt him to death, turning him into a dream-hopping...
For what? For being a fucking pervert. A child molester.
No, he was killing...
Allegedly.
He was killing kids. He wasn't molesting them.
You don't know that.
Prove it.
You can't prove either way because of what they did. They burned all the evidence.
I'm not sure which position you're trying to defend right now.
I don't either.
State your position. Let's go through the Socratic method.
Can you tell everybody all the topics we're going to cover? Or do you think it's supposed to be mysterious?
It doesn't... I mean, for this one, it doesn't really matter. We're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. We're going to be talking
Freddy?
about Psycho. We're going to be talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to be talking about Silence of the Lambs. We're going to be talking about The Exorcist.
Fuck yeah.
So there's going to be a handful. So this Wes Craven film centers around a group of teens being terrorized in their dreams by a handsome gentleman named Freddy Krueger. Freddy was a child murderer brought to justice by local parents who brutally burned him to death, turning him into a dream-hopping supernatural killing machine.
For killing kids.
When his victims die in their dreams, they die in real life as well. Thankfully, it's not possible to be killed by a dream. Unless you're a Cambodian refugee fleeing genocide in Southeast Asia.
Whoa.
Nightmare on Elm Street is loosely based on a true story.
Okay, so I got so excited that you were going to just keep telling the fake story of Freddy Krueger, but I like the twist into reality at the same time. But my nerdiness is like, oh man, I wish you would just talk about like Freddy Krueger facts for like 10 more minutes. But
No,
we
I'm
should get into the
about
truth.
Going to be talking about the real shit. So the inspiration for A Nightmare on Elm Street came from a series of articles in the Los Angeles Times about Cambodian refugees between 1975 and 1979.
It's a holiday in
So-
Cambodia.
That holiday is... I do appreciate the Dead Kennedys reference, but...
I saw them live once.
When?
One of their last shows, I was just on a job. I didn't even know who they were, which makes me feel bad that I didn't appreciate it. I saw them, Pennywise, and another one of the big ones. And I didn't care about any of it. Until later, I was like, oh, my God.
I'm sure there's some people that aren't going to be happy to hear about this, but I wouldn't really give a shit if I saw the Dead Kennedys live.
I didn't.
Not a fan of their music.
I like that song.
I appreciate what they did for the music scene, but I'm not a fan of their music.
Punk's just a gateway to emo.
Dude, Jello Biafra is such a fucking... Dude, as much as he wants to be punk, he is such an elitist, and he's just using it in a different way. Like, he's not an elitist in the terms of being like a yuppie or a trust fund kid or anything like that.
Like John Lennon?
No, he's a punk rock elitist. Like, oh, I'm Jello Biafra. I'm so much better than you because I've been a fucking douchebag in the
Douchebag my
punk
whole life?
scene for longer than you have.
Is he really like that?
Oh, dude, he is.
Is
Just-
is he worthy of an episode?
I
Not
hate
that
to.
douchey or
I
maybe?
hate. No, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't want to give him that much
He doesn't deserve
credit.
it.
Yeah,
So he's not John Lennon.
did a lot for the
douchey.
music scene, but
Okay.
Jesus Christ, he is. Yeah, he's a douchebag.
Do they have any emo songs? Never mind.
No, they just have bad songs. So, despite escaping for a few of these refugees, the horror wasn't over.
The horror?
Terrible horror.
Oh,
Horror.
I thought you meant to say war.
Well, yeah, actually, the war wasn't over for them.
Okay.
The terrible memories of what they saw and experienced came with them and manifested as terrifying nightmares. Nightmares so bad that they never woke up from them.
The fuck?
One victim was a healthy 21-year-old man who began refusing to sleep after a series of nightmares. For days at a time, this man would force himself to stay awake to avoid seeing the horrible images in his dreams. Family members urged him to take sleeping pills, telling him that the things he experienced in his sleep were not real, and he would tell them, and I quote, "I've had nightmares before. This is different."
Just like in the fucking movies.
It is creepy, and it happened multiple times, specifically to Cambodian refugees.
What the hell? Where's Cambodia?
Close to Laos, close to Vietnam.
Okay.
After a week, the lack of sleep
Good to
caught
know.
up with him, and he drifted off while lying on the couch watching TV. That night, he at last got some rest. Then, a matter of hours later, his family heard him screaming and thrashing in his sleep. By the time they reached him, he was already dead.
Fuck.
An autopsy was performed on the young man, but no cause of death could be found.
Died in his sleep?
Yeah, mysteriously. Freddy Krueger killed him. That's what this
Fucking hell.
this
Well, I
whole
know,
part
but
is
that's
about.
just
Freddy
still
Krueger's
it's-
real.
Freddy Krueger was the scariest one for me. For me, as a kid, growing up with all these fucking movies, I'm at the age where all those original fucking, what do you call it, franchises, horror franchises, I was in the prime age for those. Freddy was the scariest one. The only other movie that really
Yeah.
scared me was Chucky. But I was super young when the first one came out. They're so dumb now.
I would
The
put
Freddy movies still are awesome now, but in a fun way.
Chucky above Freddy Krueger, but Freddy Krueger would be a close
Freddy
second.
was the number one. Like when they would come out, I'd be like, "Mom, I want to go see it," and would just not go. I was too scared to even go see them.
So that motherfucker's going to kill you in your sleep.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy as fuck. And there's a real story of this, which is creepy. Also, where's Vietnam?
Vietnam's in Southeast Asia.
And where is that? Next to Russia.
It is roughly south.
It's below Russia.
No, it's roughly south and east of Asia.
And Asia's Russia.
Uh,
In Russia.
Yeah,
Asia's
shit.
a part of Russia.
no, you're right.
Russia is part of Asia or Europe?
Yeah, Asians are Russian.
But
All of
Russia is the border of Asia.
No, all of Russia is in Asia.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
An
Wait, so-
autopsy was performed on the young man, but no cause of death could be found. In his room, his family found a coffee maker hidden in his closet and a stockpile of sleeping pills that he had spit out and hidden. Are you looking up to see where
I need to
where
find out where
Russia's,
Vietnam
Russia
is because I think you're fucking with me.
No, it's
I know everything about Europe, but not anywhere else. I know more about the Europe countries now because of my Czech Spice than I do my own states. Oh, Vietnam's in Asia.
Wait, what?
Oh,
No,
it's way
bullshit.
over there? Okay. Oh, yeah, I knew that. I just needed to see it. It's way down there by the beach. Oh, that's awesome, by Thailand.
And funny thing is,
And by Cambodia.
just-
Now it makes sense.
despite the fact that Vietnam is on the beach, Charlie don't surf.
Ooh.
Whatever he was experiencing in his dreams, he was willing to go to great lengths to avoid, and his death and the deaths of other refugees still remain unexplained. There was actually a handful of Cambodian refugees that died in their sleep from horrible nightmares. Joel, are you putting yourself through a geography lesson right now?
Yeah, sorry. Russia is above Asia. I knew it.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but I thought you were fucking like you were mentally manipulating
Russia's
me.
not below Vietnam. How could it possibly be below Vietnam?
That's not what I said. I said it's above Asia.
There's no way that
I didn't know. I just found out how big Russia is. It's fucking
it's huge.
We shouldn't help Ukraine at all. We gotta get out of there.
You know,
it's not a political show.
Technically, Russia won World War II because they had so many bodies to throw at it. Russia has the highest body count out of any country during World War II.
Dude. Less work later.
Yeah, is it? So next up, we're going to be talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, and Psycho.
Fuck yeah.
All in one entry because they were all influenced by the same person.
Okay, wait, that's the end of it?
That
it was just one case? How did that get to an American Hollywood film? Just the story was so creepy that it spread to
well, no, it
director
happened in
or
America.
book?
It was a series of 3 different articles in the Los Angeles Times.
About what happened in Cambodia?
Yeah, that Wes Craven read in the early 80s. But funny thing is, they didn't actually connect any of these cases together when they were talking about them in the LA Times. It was all separate, just saying like, oh, here's another Cambodian refugee that just mysteriously died in their sleep from horrible dreams.
And no one knows why?
No, even the autopsies, the autopsies weren't, they didn't come back saying, oh, they all died of heart attacks.
I have a theory.
Freddy Krueger killed them?
Freddy Krueger killed him. No, there's that parasite that gets in potato bugs or whatever. I think it was a parasite.
You're talking about, cordyceps,
there's a parasite that goes into potato bugs and weird bugs, and it gets in their brain, and it makes them go to water, and they drown themselves. Or they drink themselves to death, and they lay eggs in their body and hatch new parasites or something.
Pretty sure that's the cordyceps thing. It's like some fungus that it gets into ants also.
Yeah, so I think that maybe it was some sort of parasite that got into them, but the parasite fucked with their brain and was able to like shut their organs down through their dreams or something.
Now, counterpoint, could it have possibly been the fact that these people saw their family members literally executed right in front of them?
No, I don't think that could be it. They were asleep.
No, they were asleep after the fact. They still have the fucking memories.
But were they memories or were they dreams?
No, they were literally
dreams.
Okay, you've seen what was the second to last Rambo movie? It was Rambo 4?
Last? Yeah, Rambo.
John
4.
Rambo?
Yeah.
So you know how they were making people run across minefields?
Yeah.
That's the Khmer Rouge.
True, but Rambo's still alive.
Didn't he die in the last movie?
No. It looks like maybe. I mean, he was real tired.
It depends on whether or not Stallone needs some more money.
He did not die on camera, no.
Okay.
It ends with him in the rocking chair, covered in blood without like a heart or something.
All of the people that got blown up running across those minefields, they did die. And those are the memories that the Cambodian refugees had to live with, was watching their family members
either get blown up or... This is Freddy Krueger shit, dude. He was so good at making you think.
There are literal museums over in Cambodia that you can go to that show all of the people that were just brutally murdered by the Khmer Rouge.
Well, if you've seen Dream Warriors, then you would know that you can pull Freddy Krueger's dreams out into reality and they become real. So maybe those landmines were from dreams.
You know what? I got no argument for that.
I'll let you continue. I'm sorry.
No, I think you're right. So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, and Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock are 3 of the most iconic horror films ever made.
What's your favorite one?
Out of the 3?
No, out of all of them.
All horror films?
Out of the franchises. What's yours, Alec? Freddy? Okay.
So
So that was your favorite part of the show. Now you're like, fuck, I have to listen to all this bullshit.
Yeah, just stick with us. We'll get it over quick. I don't like the iconic horror films. I don't think any of them are scary. So like
So
Psycho,
you weren't scared of them
Silence
when
of
you
the
were a kid?
Lambs, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, the scariest movie that I ever saw when I was a kid
Beauty and the Beast, I know.
was Beauty and the Beast. That fucking chick just used this poor. Belle was a fucking gold digger. She was
knew
a fucking
exactly
gold digger.
what she was
She knew
doing.
exactly what she was doing. She tricked this guy into thinking that she was in love with him. Changes him back into a prince.
Her dad's going insane back home, doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a fuck.
He gets thrown in fucking jail.
She doesn't give a shit.
No.
Beauty and the Beast is a horror film. As far as horror film.
It's a
not
horror film. Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, we're talking about obviously
moving on, yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, and Psycho, which are all based off of the same character. And
Really?
Yeah, same person. Well, they're all influenced by the same person. And
Yeah.
that person is Edward Theodore Gein. Have you ever heard of Ed Gein before?
Ed Gein. No.
It's a
Have I?
real quote-unquote interesting character. So Ed Gein was a murderer from Plainfield, Wisconsin, who was active between 1947 and 1957. Although he was only convicted of 2 murders, it was his arts and crafts hobby that really caught everyone's attention. Ed liked to make things, especially out of leather, specifically human leather.
Oh, it's so cool. It's a real person.
Well, no, the real Ed Gein was like a total, not somebody that you would really look up to. He was an incel simp, dominated by his mother.
That's sort of how they represent Leatherface, though.
True. Leatherface is actually closer to Ed. Actually, no, I would say that Norman Bates from Psycho is closer to Ed Gein than anybody else that's been based off of him.
I need to watch Psycho again, now that I know this.
So while investigating the murder of a woman named Bernice Warden, police searched Gein's home, and what they found was a combination of Martha Stewart and Jeffrey Dahmer. Gein's home was filled with pieces of bodies he had stolen from the local cemetery and turned into furniture and clothing, and a partial list includes, you can find pictures of the shit that he made.
He was taking it from graves?
Yeah. So he was only convicted of 2 murders in the...
Because he needed that new flesh.
2 women that he murdered, he used at least one of their bodies to create some of his very special creations. So some of the stuff that he made is a wastebasket made of human skin. This is all stuff the police found.
From a victim. Because there's no skin left in the graves. Or did he wait like when they were first buried? Or
No, he would dig them up like soon after they were killed.
So he was watching when people were
He would
buried?
dig them up for a specific reason that we'll get into.
Whoa!
But these are things that
shit.
you can find pictures of these online if you do the right search.
No shit.
So a wastebasket made of human skin, several chairs upholstered in human skin, bowls made from human skulls, a corset made from a female torso that had been skinned from the waist up to the shoulders.
Holy shit. That's worse than the movies.
Leggings made from human leg skin. Masks made from women's faces.
Okay. That's
where the Leatherface thing comes in. A lampshade made from a human face. My personal favorite, a belt made from nipples. You can literally,
nipples?
No joke, you can find a picture of this online. It is a belt made of nipples. It's just
How many people did that take?
You tell me.
Holy shit.
Look the picture up and count out the nipples. Because it is literally a belt.
But from graves, he only killed 2 people.
He was
Only convicted of 2.
only convicted of 2. He
So in a way,
he
you
might
could
have
say,
killed up to 9 people, but he did confess to grave robbing.
Did you just see it?
Did you look it up?
Alec is here watching
you
the
find
show.
the
He
nipples?
just almost vomited in his mouth. Can I see it? Can you bring that
Okay,
here?
so for the people that are just listening to the audio,
Yeah, I need
we
to
got
see this.
Alec in the studio,
It's a
and
nipple belt?
he's looking up the pictures. That's the nipple belt. That's it.
Gag reaction. I thought they were going to be
Dude.
like stretched out long ways.
No,
They're
just
flattened,
it
like
looks,
they still look like nipples.
It looks
That
like
can't be
straight
real.
up nipples. No, that is. I thought that it wasn't real either. The first time that I started learning about this shit, I thought that it wasn't real either. I thought that was just a prop that they made for a movie about Ed Gein. No, that is the Ed Gein nipple
Kept
belt.
all the nipples from all the graves?
Dude,
Or real nipples?
even more than that. He had a lampshade made out of a human face.
Fucking
You can find
crazy.
an apron.
I don't remember that in any of the Leatherface
You can find
movies.
an apron that he made out of human skin, and there is literally a face in the apron. Like you can see the skin of a human face in this apron that he made.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if we should put this in the video version of the episode, but
I don't have the time to put any visuals
for
up on this
for the people that
look it up.
care to see what it is, I hope you have a strong stomach, but look up the Ed Gein artifacts. Gein.
I can't believe that the real version is worse than the movies. And the movies like are so over the top.
Dude, to me it's a whole lot creepier because he wasn't doing this out of any like nefarious or
Yeah,
sadism.
it's like Dahmer style.
No, he was kind of a little slow in the head.
Like Leatherface.
And, no, even more than Leatherface, because Ed Gein, I wouldn't say that he's somebody that you can empathize with, but he was slow. Like he didn't know that what he was doing was wrong. Like he had
Right.
some major mental issues. I mean, still fucked up, but
And was he pulling from graves first and then he started killing?
combination of the two, he was grave robbing before he was killing.
So you could say that grave robbing is like a gateway drug to murder.
For Ed Gein, it was.
Yeah.
For other people, I mean, I haven't started killing people yet. So anyway, he also had leggings made from human legs, masks made from women's faces, a lampshade made from a human face, a belt made of nipples, and this is a little questionable, a shoebox filled with pussy lips. Or is the way the police
Labias?
the way the police put it is
Majoras.
he had a shoebox filled with vulvas. Pussy lips. So Leatherface iconic mask and Buffalo Bill's human skin suit were both based off of Ed Gein.
Was it a sexual thing?
No,
It's all women and nipples and
no,
pussies.
he wanted to be. Well, I'll get into it in a minute
What the fuck?
because now we're going to get into Norman Bates from Psycho, and I think that's Norman.
This is the most fucked up Halloween episode that we could ever do. People are gonna be playing this in front of their kids.
I could do way better. I
think this is the most fucked up one that we've done.
We end on a light note. It's fine. So just like Norman Bates, Ed Gein had some serious mommy issues. That was one of the biggest influences in his life. Is he had this extremely
Which they portray in all the fucking Leatherface movies.
and in Psycho. Like I think that Psycho is probably one of the most accurate depictions of Ed Gein's overall
The mental
personality.
part. Oh, personality. and
Norman
mental.
Bates was a little bit more, I dare say, charismatic than Ed Gein one. 'Cause, Ed Gein was very slow. Like you could tell just by interacting with him that he was
Who would you compare
he was
him
slow.
to?
He was different.
It could be a character or a real person. Or an inanimate object.
If I had to
Like a troll from the Troll Hunter?
if I had to compare him
Like
to
an ogre from
anybody,
Warcraft?
this way, no, that way. No, I would say picture Norman Bates from Psycho,
I
except
can't reference
except
that.
very
I haven't seen it.
very slow.
I haven't seen it in so long. If you couldn't pick him,
If I couldn't pick him, Hodor from Game of Thrones if he could actually talk. No, it's not even that because
Could he talk?
Yeah, he could talk. Like he could talk well enough.
Basically,
If I compare him
broken
to anybody
English
else,
accent?
I would compare him to like
Hodor makes sense to me.
I would
Hodor
only
could talk.
I would only compare him to other serial killers. Really, because
So if Hodor was creepy as fuck, like a serial killer, and could talk.
That's pretty close. If he was a bit smaller, because Ed Gein wasn't a big guy.
Interesting, because Leatherface is always huge. That's just to make him scarier for a film, I guess.
Yeah, Ed Gein was scary. I don't think that he was necessarily. He was dangerous to at least 2 people that we know of.
2 confirmed kills.
Overall, he didn't seem like a predator. He was more of a scavenger.
Right.
Because he had different
For flesh.
He had different end goals for the things that he was trying to do. The killing wasn't part of the process. It was
What did they do with
the
all that
product
stuff he
that he
made?
wanted. It's still floating around out there.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Have a fucking face lamp.
I would buy an Ed Gein nipple belt if I had the money
I'm
for
not gonna wear that nipple belt, but I'll get the lamp.
it. I wouldn't wear it. It's
I'll get the lamp.
It's a historic artifact. I'm not going to wear it.
A spooky lamp with a face on it that like actually is functional. That makes sense. A
You're just
nipple
gonna have
belt is
that?
you can't. The belt is not functional.
It absolutely is. Did you see the picture? That
It
was
had-
sewn together
It
really
had
well.
buckles on it, but those nipples aren't going to hold
That is-
your
that is-
pants up.
Maybe yours aren't. My nipples could hold.
You
some
have a
pants up.
job to do too. You can't be jerking off at work all day
What does that have to do with anything?
because of all the nipples.
You
He
can
made
control
that is a
yourself.
sexual belt for him.
For him or for you?
Well, it made me almost barf when I saw it the first time, but now that I'm thinking about it, like if I made the belt myself from all the hot chicks that I was turned on by, then maybe it would turn me on.
So just like Norman Bates, Ed Gein had some serious mommy issues, as I was saying. Gein's mother was overbearing, abusive, and left a major impression on little Ed.
Oh,
Instead of hating her, Ed absolutely adored his mother. After her death, he yearned for a replacement mommy, so he started digging up the corpses of women that reminded him of her.
when she died,
Yeah, after her death.
he didn't get a piece of her corpse. That surprises me.
Okay, so I was kind of rushing through this a little bit. I think that he did dig up his mom, but I might have been replacing him with somebody else that did something similar.
Yeah, only reason why that was triggering in my head because once again the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, his mom dies and they're in the ambulance together and she dies, and literally in the ambulance, Leatherface cuts his mom's face off and wears it for the rest of the movie.
Oh, okay, so that's fairly similar. I can't say with 100% honesty that Ed Gein was living with his mom, his dead mom, but I think that he was. I might just be remembering a old film that I watched about Ed Gein.
Yeah, there's so much shit about it. Oh, one last thing about the movie, and I'll shut up. He's the good guy in it.
Wait, what?
Leatherface?
Leatherface?
Leatherface actually doesn't commit any serious crimes, even with the people in the bus. They pull it off so good because they break in.
How do you chainsaw a bus full of people?
They killed his mom. I mean, they'll get him with manslaughter, maybe crime of passion. They kill his mom. They break into his house that she legally owns, and they think that they legally own it. But by the end of the movie, they're like, "Oh, actually, she legally owned it, and you killed Leatherface, and you killed his mom, and you killed all those people on the bus. Like, literally, this is all your fault because you broke into their house, and he defended."
No fucking way.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna have to watch that too because that sounds
they even
fucking
set
brilliant.
it up like when he goes on the bus, he's like, huh? And they start throwing shit at him, which is assault. They attack first. He fucking defended himself.
With a chainsaw.
Yeah, it's a little over the top, but like legally by law, if someone breaks into your house and punches you, you can shoot them. They don't even have to punch you.
You know what else?
It was his bus, too.
Legally, by law, if anyone comes into your house...
You can fuck him.
And they don't find a ghost bed, you're going to prison. Because this episode of the Iconoblast podcast is brought to you by Ghost Bed. Obviously, we all love Ghost Bed, and not only have they been a loyal sponsor of the Drinking Bros Network for over 69 months, they also have the most comfortable mattresses you will ever sleep on.
True.
Okay, Ghost Bed has been a little bit like heroin for me lately, because when I'm laying on that bed, I just do not want to get out. Every mattress has a 20-year warranty. Some even have 25, and you can try it out for 101 nights, which is more than enough time to realize that these are the best mattresses and sheets ever made. If for some reason during that time you decide you don't want to sleep like a baby every night, you can return the mattress, no hard feelings.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
You'll never return it, though.
You're not going to return it.
Unless you can't pay the, like, $30 a month. And you're like, fuck, you could return it just so you don't owe, or will they steal it from you if you can't pay it?
Yeah, they have a spec ops teams that's going to...
Dan does it.
Come in. I think it's Rob O'Neill, actually.
Oh, fuck. He did join the network.
Yeah. One of our favorite things about Ghost Bed is that each mattress has cooling technology in it, so if you live here in the South like we do, or if you have a lot of hot bodies in your bed, these things are a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Ghost Bed also offers bundles so you can get everything you need. You don't even really have to think about it. Just choose from one of their 4 mattresses and then pick your bundle. This new character is...
Sorry.
No, keep it going. It's just I'm
Don't
learning
tell
to
me what
work
to
with it. Stop. So whether you want just the mattress and the frame or you want it all like their amazing pillows and sheets, you will always get the best bang for your buck. Right now, Ghost Bed is offering 40% off Ghost Bed bundles where you get a mattress and adjustable base, or get 30% off your entire order when you use the promo code DrinkinBros at ghostbed.com/drinkinbros.
Yeah.
You can
40% off.
30%
30% off.
30% off.
Or everything. Or 40% off of the thing with the legs on it.
You can buy a mattress for around $35 per month, and they have no money down, 0% financing plans for up to 60 months. So go check it out at ghostbed.com/drinkinbros. Ghost Bed. Sleep so good, it's scary.
Yeah.
You know the best way to keep Leatherface out of your house?
Not cussing.
For this one, yeah, but also Simply Safe. Is there anything more precious than the safety of you and your loved ones, Joel?
Yeah. No.
No? Okay.
I absolutely love being safe.
Of course not, because you're not a monster. So isn't it strange that not all home security companies truly put you first? Old school home security companies set you up with outdated technology, overcharge you for service, and lock you into binding multi-year contracts. That's why here at the Iconoblast podcast, we use Simply Safe.
We love Simply Safe.
Simply Safe protects you with cutting-edge security technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back.
Yeah.
Customize a perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/icon. Go today and claim a free indoor security system plus 20% off with interactive monitoring.
Yeah.
Just go to simplysafe.com/icon because there's no safe like Simply Safe. Okay, so Norman Bates and Ed Gein both had very, very serious mommy issues.
And they both had nipple belts.
No, only Ed Gein. That's what makes him so special.
That's his uniqueness.
If I had the money for it, I would totally buy that belt. I wouldn't wear it because arguably it's not all that functional. Because, yeah, nipples aren't that strong. You can rip those off real easy.
Can you?
You can bite them off with no effort, from what I've heard.
Ow.
So Gein would skin the corpses he exhumed and use the flesh to make what he called, and I quote, a woman suit.
Wait, this is a different guy.
No, still Ed Gein.
Oh.
He later told the police that he made the suit so he could, and I quote, become his mother, to literally crawl into her skin. That's where the mommy issues come from with Ed Gein and Leatherface and especially Norman Bates.
You wanted to be inside his mom?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little.
It wasn't sexual?
No, that's the part that weirds me out too.
Well, because it doesn't feel sexual to wear a suit.
It was purely practical. It wasn't sexual at all.
Are you sure?
No. Gein was suspected in at least 9 murders, but only convicted for 2. God bless him. He was sent to the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane, where he spent the rest of his life, later dying in 1984 at the age of 77. Lived out his entire fucking life after doing all that weird shit.
Maybe he didn't kill
Only
anybody.
killed 2 people. No, he definitely killed 2 people. He admitted both of them.
But if he's a
but
dummy,
he was
it might have
suspected
been like,
in a handful
Jason
more.
Avery, or what's the dummy brother? You know what I'm talking about? The Averys making a murderer? The super dumb kid. Like, he was like in a meeting and they were like, just say you killed him and you can go home. And he was like, I killed him.
No, he killed at least 2 women.
Okay. So he's a piece of shit.
At least 2. It was probably closer to like 7 or 8. So next up, we're going to be talking about The Exorcist.
Not a problem if you wear skin and make nipple belts, but if you kill someone to do it, then I have a problem.
If it's ethically sourced, farm-raised, free-range...
I mean, what is it a federal offense to dig up a body and just borrow the face?
Yes.
Fuck. It should be a misdemeanor. No one's going to fucking use it.
Dude, picture anybody that you care about having some random asshole.
If I don't know about it, I don't care.
No, but you find out about it. That's the thing.
That would be weird.
Picture some random asshole.
If someone was wearing my
digging up-
grandma's face, I'd be like, I need to see those pictures. It's like grandma's back.
No, I want to keep the mask. That's my grandma, not yours.
Now that it's out of the grave, can I have it?
What, were you going to dig it up yourself?
No. But if it was there, I would take it.
But since it was already done, you'll go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear it.
So we're going to talk about The Exorcist next, which I
Sick.
think is one of the most overrated fucking horror movies in history.
It's fun.
It's not even fun.
At the time, it fucked everybody up.
Okay, so it was groundbreaking, but you watch it nowadays, it's fucking slow and boring.
It sucks now, but it's fun to watch when you understand what it did at the time. Also, I feel like that's going to happen again because we're getting so soft and so scared, and like there's no more comedies anymore because everyone's afraid to say anything fucked up.
Comedy dies before horror does.
And then, so eventually it's the same thing like this movie. Exorcist is one of those movies where they were like, you know what? Fuck all the rules. We're going to show a fucking little girl shove a fucking cross in her pussy.
Spoiler alert, I have that in the notes.
Well, everyone's seen the movie. That's what they do. And it like shocked the whole fucking world.
Hardly anybody's seen the movie because it's a shit movie.
Well, at the time, it like fucked. It got banned
Okay,
all
that
over the
is-
place. It was out of control.
Considering
Nobody
the year
could
that it came
fucking
out,
believe
that it is
that they would do
very,
that.
very shocking.
And it played in theaters. Like nowadays, when you make a shocking film, it goes into a couple festivals. Like, oh, you're shocking, but you have to play the game to get to the top. It'd be like if the Russo brothers or a Marvel company were like, we're gonna make a horror film, and they got the funding, they make the movie, it comes out in theaters everywhere, and it's fucked up like that. That's what they did. Like they tricked everyone. It's back in the day, directors and filmmakers would lie to the people giving them money and say, yeah, we're going to make this fucking PG-13
So
film.
it's
and
like
then
they
make
were-
a rated R film the way they wanted to make. Nowadays, everyone plays the game and everything's safe.
It's like they were gonna make Captain Marvel, but what they released was a Serbian film.
Yeah. I mean, that would be even more groundbreaking if they could pull that off. But this came out in theaters. Like,
I mean-
like there were families. There
Okay,
there were
that's-
like couples going in to watch like a fun horror film.
That's respectable. I see where you're coming from because
Yeah, like,
considering
people
the
didn't
time
know that
period,
it was good. They
it was
wanted people to be
very,
shocked.
very groundbreaking. It was very shocking for everybody that saw it. But we're old and we're jaded, and we grew up on fucking ogrish.com.
You
Like
can
that
still
type of
pull it
shit,
off.
that's-
like if
that's-
you right now, if somebody made a movie that was something like that, but the trailer was like a romance film, because you could take any movie.
See, I would love that.
That's
I
the
would
trick.
absolutely fucking love that. If somebody tricked me into seeing a movie
And
that
then
I
it was
wasn't
fucked.
expecting, like all of the
Well, it was-
marketing, all the
Exorcist
marketing
at
is
the time was
all
sort of-
fucked up and weird and makes it seem like it.
Adam
it's
Hester from
pretty
Skeleton
much,
Factory podcast could back me up on this. It probably knows more about this. But from what I've been told, that's what they did with The Exorcist. Why it got so famous is because they made it like, also maybe not even on purpose, because you couldn't show anything that was in that movie on TV. And you couldn't make a trailer to show, like literally you couldn't even tell you what the movie was about. So the trailers and everything, no one knew what the fuck it was. They just knew that it was about a girl that was possessed. And it looks like a drama. You have no idea that she's going to be like, spinning her head and vomiting, and priests were going to be killed and flying out windows and finger blasting herself.
That's what.
It's awesome.
That's what film trailers should be now.
Well,
that
I
would be
think
that
it's
would be
gone
so
completely
much
the opposite
better
way. It's going to happen soon.
if the film trailers were always misleading. Because
Someone
then you're
needs to do that. A
then you're
big
gonna go
company
into a
with a lot of money
film
to
and
take
you're
that
not gonna
risk.
expect anything that you saw. That I would feel the same way that I felt when I went into to watch. It was a Mel Gibson movie.
Meet the Gringo?
No, way before that. It was like post Payback, but before Get the Gringo.
Machete 2.
No, I can't remember the name off my head. Off the top of my head. I'm sure that somebody in the
Braveheart.
chat's going to be able to pick it up. No, it's not Braveheart.
Lethal Weapon 4.
But in the previews, it all seemed like it.
Untouchables 4. 3.
Has there been 4?
There's 3. They're making a 4th one, I've heard. They're trying to.
Okay, I'm down for that. No, it was a Mel Gibson movie. Made it seem like it was a
Said
comedy.
Untouchables. Is it not? That's not the name. They're called replaceables. Referables. Irreplaceable.
The Irreplaceables. I'm pretty sure that's what
Irreplaceables.
it is.
What's
So
the
it's
movie called with all the action heroes?
I can't fucking remember now.
Expendables. Thank
We
you, Alec.
remembered.
Thank you.
No, there's a Mel Gibson movie. It's got Lucy Liu in it,
What?
and they played it off like it was going to be a comedy, but when you watch the movie, it is not a comedy at all.
Oh, that's like when they did that with Switch with Adam Sandler. Did you see that movie? Click.
Yeah, that wasn't a comedy either.
No, well they made it look like a comedy, but then it was a drama and everybody was pissed.
Oh no, it was just a shit movie.
Yeah, it was shit.
So yeah, I would appreciate it if filmmakers would start putting out trailers that were misleading.
The trailer for Total Recall is like one of my favorite trailers. They shot it separately. There's not even a single shot from the movie in it.
And the
Yeah.
trailer for Total
Dude,
Recall?
they used to do this back in the day. Like Terminator 2 had a trailer. They eventually released a full trailer, but it doesn't show shit. But they would shoot for the trailers back in the day. There's a full trailer of a Terminator being made, and then at the end it's Arnold and he like turns towards camera. You know, and then it's like T2. It's like the teasers. But none of that is shot. None of that's even in the movie.
Dude, they
should
should still be doing that.
Yeah, it's just they
Like,
go with
I'm-
the flow, and they're always a little late. Like now when you watch a trailer, you basically watch the movie. So it's gonna happen. Someone's gonna do it, and then everyone's gonna follow. Right? It takes one person at the top to be like, you know what we do? We say it's a comedy and it's a fucking horror film. It's gonna fuck everybody up.
I would
And then
love
when it
that.
happens and it works, then all of a sudden the whole trend of trailers will change.
But then the fucked up part is everything that you see in a trailer from then on,
You're not
like,
gonna buy it.
oh, okay, they're promoting this as a comedy. It's
a horror
obviously a horror movie. They're promoting this as a like rom-com. It's a drama. That's the fucked
fun.
up part.
That's fun.
Well, no, you're going to start expecting it at some point. But anyway, back to The Exorcist.
Yeah, then you got to change it again. Okay, go. Sorry.
So The Exorcist isn't exactly based on a true story. It's more of a combination of multiple different botched exorcisms. The scariest part about the movie isn't the source material, though. It's all the crazy shit that happened while they were filming it. I even, squeezed this down to leave some of the shit out that happened around The Exorcist movie. It was one of the unluckiest productions in Hollywood history outside of Rust with Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
First of all, the original
Or The
home...
Crow.
Or The Crow.
Or the movie of that young, innocent girl on the train tracks.
I swear that's about the Allman Brothers, isn't it?
I don't even know the movie. I was just saying that to be, like, insensitive and aggressive so our podcast makes us more money.
Doing your job. Yeah. No, I know how it goes.
I actually feel bad for her and her family, and I feel bad for Alec Baldwin and the person he killed.
For Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, I would not want to accidentally kill someone. That would be mentally...
I
He's
wouldn't
acting like he's
wanna-
fine, but I bet you he is mentally fucking damaged beyond you could imagine. Could you imagine if we were shooting a movie and you shot me, killed me? It would be awful, even if it was an accident. It's almost worse it's an accident. So I feel bad for him. I don't like that he's not owning it.
If it was an
Because
accident,
he did kill
then
somebody
I
because he was ignorant and
feel bad for him. The way that he's been handling it does not feel like an accident.
he was not professional on that day, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anyone else's fault.
Nobody on that fucking set was
Everybody's
being
supposed to take the
professional, the
gun
way-
and check the
yeah, Jesus Christ. That was just
Shit.
a clusterfuck from start to finish.
Yeah. But that happens a lot too, and usually no one ever dies, so
Ideally.
but the fact that he's pretending like it's not his fault entirely it bothers me a lot.
Yeah, that's the part that
I do
bugs
feel
me the
bad for him
most.
at the same time, and I feel bad for anyone that dies making a movie that's seems a little ridiculous nowadays because everything is so easily made without that. But I do
Yeah.
also have a boner for the times when dying for a movie meant something. When I made my first film, Bellflower, I wanted to die making it. We did a lot of dumb shit. It's all real, and if I would have died making that, it would have been a good way to go. Because you
Right.
care about it that much. That's like Mad Max. Like people died on all those movies. They cared so much.
It
Even
was
when-
just the first one. Wasn't
no,
it?
the second.
First of
Yeah,
the-
the first one. I'm not sure if someone died on the first one, but
Has
Road
George
Warrior.
Miller killed somebody in every single
George
fucking movie he
George
made?
Miller has killed people in his movies. Yes,
God, that's
But
why he's so
it
good at
wasn't-
what he does.
they did everything they could not to die, and everyone knew the risk, and there was never a misunderstanding. Like, okay, you're gonna take this
That part-
motorcycle, drive it off a cliff. You're gonna have to hit it with your neck or your chest on this pole, and then flip through the air for about 40 feet.
That part is
and it might
respectable.
kill you. And the guy was like,
I'm
"Fuck
in.
yeah."
Let's
Is
fucking
it going to
do
be
it.
a cool shot? Like, oh, fuck yeah, it is. Like, all right, it's worth it. And the shots in the movie, they didn't cut it out. Nowadays, if you die on screen, they're not even going to show it. That scene where that fucker dies is in the movie. You can watch him die.
There's been a shocking amount of movies where somebody has died during the production. And like, what was it the
Philip
Twilight?
Seymour Hoffman
He
died during
yeah, but he
Hunger Games.
died off camera, most likely in a bathroom or something like that.
Well, that's what they tell us. He probably died banging the shit out of the Mockingjay.
That I wouldn't be surprised.
Which would be awesome.
I'd
Philip could pull.
I'd bang PSH.
I'd bang Philip. Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I call him PSH.
I'd jerk
Him and
off
I have-
watching
him and I have a
Philip
little bit
bang.
of a history.
Whatever her name is. Mockingjay.
Really, I don't even. I've never thought that she was that pretty. I
I
loved her
didn't
in,
say I would.
in
I
Winter's
said I would
Bone.
like to watch Philip fuck her.
Even then, that
Are you listening
that'd be a
at
little
all?
boring. No, I'm
be hot.
listening. I am giving you my gut reaction.
Whatever the whistle is while he comes, and then like fire burns around her. that'd be hot.
So first of all, the original home that the Exorcist planned to use for exterior shots mysteriously burned down during production. Eerily, only one room in the house was left untouched by the fire, that being the bedroom of Reagan McNeil, the little girl possessed by the demon. So that would have been Linda Blair's room. Next, Ellen Burstyn, the actress who played Chris McNeil, was seriously injured during a botched stunt. During the scene where Reagan is blasting her box with a crucifix, favorite scene of mine, Chris McNeil is thrown across the room by supernatural forces. In reality, these supernatural forces were a team of stuntmen pulling on a harness tied to Ellen Burstyn. Stunt crew got a little too enthusiastic about their jobs and pulled the rigging so hard it gave Ellen Burstyn a permanent spinal injury.
Fuck. Maybe they were possessed. Ruben, drink.
No, they were just enthusiastic about their jobs. Ellen Burstyn wasn't the only member of the cast to be abused by the crew. Director William Friedkin wanted the fear of the actors to look convincing, so he terrorized the shit out of them. He sounds like a fucking asshole. Who was the guy who directed I Heart Huckabees?
What did you just say to me? Don't ever say that again.
Don't
say that word.
I am perfectly fine never saying I Heart Huckabees again because that is one of the
what the fuck is that?
shittiest, stupid fucking movies I've ever seen. It's a movie? Yeah, the director, I know he's a famous director. I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
Room's getting real dizzy.
Piece of shit, but there's clips of him just like screaming at Lily Tomlin, who Lily Tomlin is a fucking national treasure. And he's screaming at her like she's a piece of shit who doesn't know what she's doing.
To get a performance?
No, just because he's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh.
Like, if he was doing what William Friedkin was doing, I'd be a little bit more okay with it. That's similar to what happened with The Shining, with Stanley Kubrick, or The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock.
Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Or Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who was the director of Conan?
John Milius.
John Milius.
Well, you know what I'm talking about when I refer to Conan the Barbarian, right?
Him falling off the rock, getting attacked by the dogs?
No. There's a scene with the woman. They're like, there's not the witch, but there's a short scene, and this is Arnold being a fucking asshole. But he talks about it in the commentary while the scene's happening. There's a scene where they're like, when he was still a slave, they're like, because he's so powerful, we bred him with the finest stock, because they wanted to breed a bunch of more warriors like Conan. So there's like a short scene that's like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, where there's like it looks like a jail cell, and there's a hot chick in there, naked. And Arnold walks in, and he's like, oh, I'm supposed to fuck her, okay, I'll do it, right? And he like walks over, and she's like, ah, and she like hides, and like puts like a blanket over herself, and then he walks over, and he's like, whoosh, and like pulls her tits out. And then the scene cuts. But in the commentary, Arnold's like, yeah, I remember that day super well because I wanted the scene to be real, and I really wanted this girl to be terrified of me because I'm supposed to be a barbarian and she's a slave. So the whole day I was mean to her.
God damn.
I walked by her, I told her to fuck off. Like, he talks about it. He's like, purposely was mean to her to make the scene better.
It's not bad enough that he was abusing a deaf Lou Ferrigno to win Mr. Olympia. Dude. God, Arnold knows how to do it. So anyway, Ellen Burstyn wasn't the only member of the cast to be abused by the crew. Director William Friedkin wanted the fear of the actors to look as convincing as possible, so he terrorized the shit out of them. Friedkin would slap the actors, scream at them, and sometimes even fire a gun next to their heads to get the reaction he was looking for. By the time filming was done, the cast and crew all agreed that he was a literal fucking maniac.
That's like the guy that directed Neverending Story. It's a German director. I can't remember the movie, but apparently on another film he was on, there's like a scene in a canoe or some shit. And the actor, there's like a storm coming in. They were trying to get this shot, and the director was like, the storm's cool. And then the actor was like, I'm going to drown. I don't feel safe. I want to go. And the director of the Neverending Story pulled a gun on him and was like, shoot the fucking scene or I'll kill you. And it's like the greatest scene in the movie. I've never seen it, but I heard this rumor. Yeah, another scene. Yeah, I just look up the director of Neverending Story, and you'll find the article about that. Because also he killed a horse on Neverending Story for the drowning scene.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that fucking horse died.
Jesus Christ!
Not his fault, but the lift that lowered.
Yeah, it was the horse's fault.
There's a lift under that
the horse
swamp
shouldn't have been dressed that way.
goes down and then goes back up, and it went down and it broke and it stayed down after it went in, and I think it drowned. That's a rumor too. It might not be true, but one of these things.
I know
where you
that
fuck with the
actor who played
aliens.
Atreyu, he almost died in that scene also.
Yeah, because he was pulled. He was attached to the horse, and it was pulling him under too. But an actual scene that's true, where they fucked with the actors, it's Alien. The brothers, directors who directed Alien.
I thought, Well, not
The first one.
Cameron. The first
not
one.
James Cameron.
Shit.
Yeah, it's the guy that the same brothers that made Top Gun, Gladiator.
They were brothers?
Yeah. Two brothers. Well, they all made different
Oh,
movies.
but one of them jumped off the bridge.
Yeah,
by
but they never
San
made a movie
Pedro.
together, but they both made good movies.
Why can I remember that one of the brothers committed suicide by jumping off the bridge in San
he made the
Pedro?
shittier movies.
Gladiator.
One of them made Gladiator.
One of them made Gladiator. That was
Ridley Scott. Thank you.
There you go.
And Tony Scott's the one that killed himself.
Tony Scott's the one that jumped off the bridge
because he
in
made
San
Domino.
Pedro.
Anyway, so
Understandable.
and
That was a
Ridley
shit
Scott's
fucking movie.
Alien in the scene where the chest burster comes out, he had like a super loud speaker, and no one knew that it would actually come out.
That was John Hurt that the chest burster was coming out of.
I don't remember who it was, but yes, you
John
are
Hurt,
correct.
amazing fucking actor. And V for Vendetta, he's so good.
Wait, who's he in V and Vendetta?
He was also
bad
in.
guy?
Yeah, he was the main bad
yeah.
guy in V for Vendetta.
But
And
anyway,
also,
they did that to him. Like if you watch that movie, you could see like they all do. They like blink and they jump back and they actually freak out because they had no idea it was going to burst. And he played like a super loud, ear-deafening sound at the same time to shock the shit out of everybody. But didn't tell anyone. That's a little less creepy than slapping people. But it
still
is a
gets
technique.
the job done though.
Yeah, it's a technique that directors and the crew versus the actors. It's a thing. You want the actors to do their best. But also another example of that is Quentin Tarantino fucking over Uma Thurman.
Licking her feet.
No. The car accident she got in.
And then he licked her feet afterwards?
Probably while she was knocked out. But in the Kill Bill movies, there's a badass shot. It's in the movie, and she's hauling ass down this dirt road with the trees from behind. And they told her, and they all told her that she could handle it. And she was like, I'm not fucking good at, I'm not even a good driver in real life. Are you sure it's just a straight road? And Quentin was like, straight road, you're good to go. Lied to her. There's a turn. It's not in the movie, but you can find it on YouTube. It's everywhere now. There's a turn in the road. She tries to do the turn, can't do it, crashes head on into a tree, slams her face against the fucking steering wheel. It's another case of the movie is more important than the person. When you obsess about movies, that's what happens.
All right, yeah, I got to give this guy some credit because that's what some of the greatest directors in history have done is they have just terrorized the fuck out of their actors. Alfred Hitchcock and the Birds with Tippi Hedren.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Tippi Hedren. Like, he gave her PTSD from that fucking movie, and then also probably because he was a creepy,
I bet
rapey
you she
bastard.
won't even drive a car.
Gonna make an omelet, you gotta
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
terrorize
There's a
a
lot of
few
directors
eggs,
like
apparently.
I think that shit's fucked up to do, but I also get being obsessed with making something. If you want to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. It's not cool if it's a human, but it fucking works. That's a touchy subject to get in on. I don't agree with it. I would never do that to you.
If you take it to a certain degree, I think that it's acceptable if they.
What if she rolled the car
if the
and
actor
the car crushed her
agreed
skull
to
and
it
killed
also?
her? He had no. I could understand if he knew the car could only go so fast, and if she did a head-on collision to a tree, okay, it's not going to kill her. But it was on a dirt road where if she yanked the wheel for no reason, she would have rolled the car, and it could have crushed her skull, and it could have killed her. Just to get that shot. And this is the part that's fucked up and why I'm like, fuck you, Quentin Tarantino. Number one, he hates digital film, so that means he hates my movie, so fuck you. And also, and number two, it's a fucking
fuck
shot.
you, Quentin.
It's a fucking shot from behind her head. It's not even on her face. You can't even see her in the fucking shot. Don't make her shoot.
He could have had that.
It could have been anybody with the
woman,
same hair.
What's her
so
name?
it's just
Zoe?
a fucked up weird power move, dude. You're a
Zoe
piece of shit.
something?
Zoe could have done it.
Yeah, oh, dude, she would have been fucking stoked to do it.
Yeah, and she's hotter than fucking Uma Thurman now.
Nowadays, yeah.
Uma's a bit. They're both hot. But that was fucked up. You can't even see her fucking face. Naughty, naughty, naughty Quentin.
As production continued, paranormal events began happening on set. This is the part that I think is the creepiest out of everything that happened on the Exorcist set.
Yeah. What's the director's name?
It was William Friedkin, I think. Several members of the crew reported seeing inanimate objects move by themselves. One of the recurring events was the handset of a phone would raise itself off the hook and slam back down repeatedly. This was the phone that they were using to communicate between like the main set and the production office. The paranormal activity became so intense that a real-life priest was brought in to bless the set, and the priest actually gave one of the...
What?
It was either one of the producers or one of the actors. He gave him an amulet and said, like, you need to keep this with you because it's going to keep you safe.
They were doing actual things during the movie?
Oh, dude, the whole production was fucked.
You don't think that was on purpose? Like the director was like, dude, we should do these on set. We should pretend like it's actually happening for real.
If it wasn't for the deaths that started happening...
Wait, people died?
9 fucking people.
Wait, 9 people died on Exorcist?
9, not during the production. 1 person died during the production, and the rest of them died very, very soon after. Whoa. So at least 9 people connected to the production of The Exorcist died suddenly. Filming wasn't even complete before the movie claimed its first victim. Actor Jack McGowran, I think it's McGowran, MacGowren, died from pneumonia caused by the freezing temperatures they were exposed to while filming in a refrigerated bedroom. You remember the scenes that they were filming in The Exorcist where you could see their breath? Like when
they had a...
Yeah, they actually...
That's how they shot the thing as well.
Yeah, they couldn't do that with CGI or anything like that, so they actually had to refrigerate the room so you could see everybody's breath, and that killed one of the actors that was playing one of the priests.
Yeah, they did that same shit in The Thing, the original. If you watch that, all that shit, when they're cold, they're fucking cold.
Yeah, luckily Kurt Russell and fucking who's the guy that does all the diabetes commercials?
Wait,
Wilford
what?
Brimley.
Oh.
Wilford Brimley was in the Thing.
Okay.
So Kurt Russell and Wilford Brimley
Survived.
have more balls than this priest. Following the film's release, 8 other members of the production or close family members soon died. And the last spooky event occurred in Rome during a screening of The Exorcist. During the screening, there was an unseasonable torrential downpour, adding some great atmosphere to watching a scary movie. Cheers.
Drink hard AF seltzer.
The theater was located between 2 historic churches, and sometime during the film, a 400-year-old cross on one of the churches was struck by lightning and crashed into the ground just outside the theater.
What the fuck?
Because even God's a film critic, apparently.
That's real?
Yeah, during a screening in Rome, a 400-year-old church was struck by lightning, and the crucifix on top of the church fell down in front of the theater. But I'm sure that's all just coincidental.
Or do you think they made that up? Oh, someone died.
No, that was...
Wait, so how did 9 people die?
So there was the actor that died after the scenes in the cold room.
Because he was chilly.
And then, he was also pretty fucking old. I think he was most likely on his way out anyway.
That's like the guy in training for to become a Navy SEAL this year that died. He got pneumonia and died in his bed.
Yeah, at some point your heart's just going to give out. Everybody else, I mean, honestly, 8 people dying in relation to a film that has that many people working on the set, yeah, it's not that surprising.
I think we need to go back to when... So, for example, they're like trying to give the Navy and the Navy SEAL regiment or whatever you call it, like a hard time for someone dying in it. I think that it should be acceptable when you want to make someone badass or anything badass that people die for it. I think that the risk is That's why movies suck nowadays, because it's all on green screen.
So nobody's dying?
And no one's trying that hard anymore. It's so fucking easy. That's why everything's getting, like, weirder and fucking soft and confusing. We don't want to die, so we're making it we're doing everything we can to not die. Or, well, we want to die. A lot of people want to die, but we don't want to be in pain or suffer or die for a cause. I do. When I was making movies as a kid, I'm old, I would die for those movies. I cared so much about it. And these people wanting to be Navy SEALs want to be a Navy SEAL so bad that they're willing to die for it. That's how you push yourself to the next level to actually be something worth living. So that is all going away. Like, The Exorcist is badass for killing 9 people. That's what I was trying to get at.
Only one person died during the production, though.
But it killed 9 people, and probably a lot more.
I think Rust has an equal body count overall.
But I don't like that one.
But that's how life works.
Because, well, here's the difference between I bet you on The Exorcist, everyone was like, holy shit, this head's haunted. This must be worth making. Like, they were all in. That priest was fucking freezing to death. And he was like, I am so cold, I'm going to die. And they were like, dude, you should go warm up. And he was like, no, it's good for the scene. I'm going in. You know, like, they had this they were all on the same page that it was worth it to make.
Was it the actors that were on the same page, or was it just the producers and directors?
I wasn't there, but I've been on both. I've been on jobs where everyone's in, and it's the best.
If everyone's in,
I've been on jobs
it's
where
good.
no one's in, and it's the worst.
If no one's in, then you end up with a camera assistant that gets hit by a train.
Yeah, which is awful.
Yeah.
And that's, dude, I would lay on the tracks for a movie I cared about to try to stop the train. And if it killed me, fine.
If you cared about it, if it's a
movie that everyone's in.
If it's a paycheck, though, and
there are no such things as that anymore, anywhere, even jobs. Like, my dad was willing to risk his life for his job. Luckily, he didn't die. Like, no one is willing to go that hard anymore. Things have changed. That's why there's no good movies.
Goddamn Gen Z. So anyway, that's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. We will see you again next week with, actually, it's the end of Spooky Month. We're going to have to get into doing like Thanksgiving shit.
This was my favorite episode of all of them.
All of them?
Yeah, I like this one the most.
Okay, yeah, I didn't enjoy Halloween last year. So anyway, you can join us again next week.
You've never enjoyed Halloween.
That's a good point. I haven't enjoyed many things, honestly.
You're not an enjoyable guy. I don't even know why I've hung out with you for my whole fucking life.
I have no idea either. Just
Getting
luck,
on my
I guess.
nerves, dude.
Just now, after 20 years?
Yes, I'm married now.
Oh.
I have a wife to think about.
Shit, sorry. All right, well, we should get out of here so you can go check in with your wife and make sure she knows that you're not out doing anything questionable.
Nah, she knows I'm not.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, join us again next week. You can follow us on Instagram at Iconoblast Podcast. You can follow me at Coop Nukem. You can follow Joel at Joel R. Benner. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Iconoblast Podcast YouTube channel and go buy our fucking merch.
Yeah.
Go buy all the fucking merch.
There's links on all the shows to get to the merch.
Wearing the shirt right now. It's one reason to join the YouTube channel, and it's another reason to go to shop.drinkandbros.com. And until then, my name has been Matt Cooper.
Has been? Are you going to change it?
Eventually, once I transition.
You are has been. Well, no, I am, because I'm older than you. I'm Joel Benner.
And we're reminding you to never take anything at face value.
Pussy fuck, pussy fuck, pussy fuck, pussy, vagina, vaginas, vaginas. Cunt, cunt, cunt. Simply say cunt.